Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the event safety briefing for this weekend's Max Adventure Race in the Blue Mountains. Looking forward to welcoming you all along for a great weekend of running, riding and kayaking. My name's Mark and I'll be your race director. Before we get started, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians upon whose land we will be meeting and pay my respects to their elders, past, present and emerging. A few things to go over today. I'll try to keep it brief, but if you could please listen up. Listening up will help make the event day go that much smoother for you. Now, for all of you, you would have been sent a copy of the event program last week, and also attached to the email that this video is attached to, you'll see a copy of the event program there as well. Make sure you have a good look and good read of the event program before coming along to the event. It contains a lot of information about what to expect, schedules, where to be at what times, all those sort of things. So very good idea to have a good read of the event program before the weekend. Obviously, I want to talk about safety. Now, this is a teams event, so therefore you're all going to be participating in teams of 2, which means the first point of call in case you suffer an injury on course is your teammate. So if your teammate suffers an injury, obviously stay with them, give them any support they might need, grab the next team that comes along and send them further along the course to the next transition area or marshal point, where they'll be able to radio into us and we'll be able to send first aid, whatever the appropriate response might be. If you do come across a team out on course that's injured and you stop and provide assistance, please let me know at the end. If there was a certain period of time that you spent helping out a team, happy to credit you that time back. So if you stop for 5 minutes to help a team, happy to give you a credit of 5 minutes at the conclusion of the event. Big thing for safety for this event is that you are going to be riding and possibly running on some fire trails that are open to the public, so could well have cars traveling along them. Okay, so all the normal things: stick to the left, ride in single file, give way to any traffic out on course. Okay, that's probably the most important thing on this course. If you have a look at your map, you'll see that some areas are marked up to ride up this trail, ride down another trail. Please follow those. They are not only for safety reasons, but also helps the course run how we want it to run, and we don't want to have teams going in and out of the fire trail to access the single track mountain biking. Get on the single track course, follow it. It's a lot of fun riding. You'll have a lot better time rather than trying to save time ducking in and off the fire trail. Talking about riding, and especially when talking about riding on that single track, ride to your ability. All right, there is no shame in, if there's a situation where you don't feel comfortable riding, stopping off and walking your bike for a short distance. If I can guarantee that there'll be plenty of teams doing it at different times. Okay, so ride to your ability. Don't try to push it. That's how you're going to end up having an accident and ending up injured. So always carefully consider what you can and can't do. In saying that, there's been a lot of work going on to the Oaks single track, which you'll be using for this event, both the classic and novice teams. It's looking in really good shape and is a lot of fun to ride. So I encourage you all to have a go, get in there. You'll really enjoy it and it'll be a real feeling of satisfaction once you complete that section. The weather is starting to warm up. There's a bit of rain around today, Thursday, but then after that it's going to clear up. Because the weather has been warming up, that could mean that snakes are starting to appear out on the course. Obviously, if you see a snake, give it a wide berth. It'll naturally move away once teams start going past. But warn any other teams that might be around that give it a wide berth. Leave it alone. It will make its way away from the big scary humans. Another thing to watch out for in regards to safety is actually one of the rules for the event, and that's the 100-meter rule. The 100-meter rule means that you must be within 100 meters of your teammate at all times. Goes back to what I was saying about if there's an accident on course, your teammate's your first point of call. A good hint is that the best teams stay a lot closer than 100 meters apart. So they're normally within 5 to 10 metres apart, working together, navigating together. But if teams are found to have broken the 100-metre rule, you will be penalised. So make sure you stay close to your teammate at all times. The park is not closed to the general public. There will be other users out on the park, on the mountain bike trails, maybe along some of the walking tracks and things like that. All right, they have as much right to be there as you do. Please treat them with respect, give them plenty of space, let them enjoy the park as much as you are enjoying it. I know you are in a race per se, but I don't want to have teams charging past, yelling and screaming at other users to get out of the way because they're coming through. If you do come up behind some other users in a narrower section, politely ask them to let you past. I'm sure they'll be more than happy. Step out of the way, let you continue on, and everyone can go on enjoying the beautiful Blue Mountains National Park. For a lot of you that haven't done this event before, you'll be wondering about how you go about finding your way around the course and what to look for on the course. Okay, so at the registration, each team will be given a map and a course description. Make sure you use the two of them in conjunction to work out where you're going and what you're doing. Unless otherwise noted, all the checkpoints need to be collected in the order that's listed on your course description. Common mistake that teams use is they look at the map and they sort of ignore the course description. Make sure you're looking at both of them together so you can work out, okay, we're doing these checkpoints on foot, we're doing these checkpoints on the bike. Plan your course, and that'll make the day go a lot easier for you. The course description also contains a description of where the checkpoint will be located. So quite often it will say the checkpoint is on a tree 5 metres north of the track junction. So once you get to the track junction, you look to the north, and around 5 metres away there'll be a tree, and the tree will be marked with some red and white hazard tape. So always look for the red and white hazard tape when looking for checkpoints. And that will then, the control will be at the base of that tree. You'll have a timing chip that all teams will have. Stick that timing chip in the control. There's a circle in the control. Put the timing chip in there and the control will beep and flash. Okay, if it does one and not the other, so if it beeps not flashes or flashes not beeps, that's fine as long as it does one of those two things. If it does neither, make a note of it on your course description and come and see us at the end. But we don't have instances where the controls don't work. So stick your control in, it'll beep and flash, and you'll be away onto the next checkpoint. Also with checkpoints, you'll see that there's checkpoints at the transition areas, commonly referred to as TAs. That's where you're switching between legs. So you're going from a run leg to a bike leg, or a bike leg to a kayak leg, whatever the case may be. There are checkpoints at those transition areas, okay? So make sure you punch those controls as well. The most common mistake we get are teams missing those transition area controls, which is very frustrating because you were there, otherwise you wouldn't have your bike, for example. So make sure you hit those controls. If you go back to a TA a second time, so you might do a loop to run leg, you got the control at TA when you started that run leg. When you finish that run leg, or if you finish that kayak leg, whatever the case may be, hit the control again, okay? You'll see it noted on your map that some of those TAs have 2 numbers. That means you visit there twice, you need to punch it twice. Once when you're there the first time, once when you're there the second time. Another part of this course, this location, is the fact that we do a Rogaine leg at the start when you start. That's around Euroka clearing where the start-finish area is itself. So you'll see on your course description when you'll get it, there'll be a bunch of lettered checkpoints, but you won't have those checkpoints marked on your map. You'll be given the map for those checkpoints when the event starts, okay? Then have a look at your course description. It will say how many of those controls you need to collect. So you might need to get 6 out of 7 or 5 out of 7, whatever the case may be. They do not need to be in order of A, B, C, D. You can get them in any order. Once again, that's noted on your course description, which refers back to the importance of looking at the course description in conjunction with your map when planning. You'll see also on the map there's some areas marked in pink. They're on a couple of the roads of the course. they are to show that those areas are out of bounds. Okay, so any teams caught riding or running along those roads that are marked out of bounds will be penalised. Okay, so make sure you avoid any areas marked in pink on your map. They are out of bounds. For you novice teams, please make sure to come along and register when registration opens, and then attend the novice tips and tricks session, which we'll do in person before the start. So what I'll do there is I'll gather up all the novice teams with your maps, with your course descriptions, and we'll virtually run through the course and give you some advice on how to go about completing the event. If you're classic course teams, unfortunately you don't get that benefit. We expect you to be straight out and sorting that out yourselves. Okay. Apart from that, that's all I've got to go over. Looking forward to seeing you on Saturday or Sunday. Should be a terrific day out in the beautiful Blue Mountains National Park, and can't wait to see you there. Thanks very much.